All right, welcome back yet to another episode of the Sports Desk Live. We are all back together again, and it feels really good. I'm your guy one more time, Dedrick L. Hicks Jr., one-third sportsologist, and I'm here to keep it raw. I'm here to keep it real, and if you don't like it, check yourself into the hospital.
And this your man Black. Happy to be back, fellas. Shaw, D, y'all already know what it is, man. Let's get into it.
Yes, sir, and I moved them chains. Sorry I missed last week, but I'm back forever. Let's go.
Absolutely. So we're back with the 2024 NFL preview show. It's football season. The love is in the air, so to speak, and it's always good times where you can talk about that gridiron, man. So today we're going to be going around the block, man, talking about some sleeper teams, give our NFL MVP picks, our Final Four picks, and our Super Bowl winners with any other storylines. And let's start there. So Rashad, let's get with Mr. Move Them Chains. Let's start with you, sir. What is a storyline this year going into the NFL season that you will be monitoring closely?
The Harbaugh situation in LA.
Yeah.
I think that's all that team needed was a coach. Immensely talented, terribly coached. Just trying to see what that's gonna be this year. Trying to see what they're gonna what kind of noise they're gonna make in the AFC West. See what that makes. See what that comes out to be.
For sure. Black, what's up with you? What you feeling?
Yeah, man. I think this year for me, I just really been looking a lot at the Pittsburgh Steelers situation. Having named Russell Wilson as the starting quarterback. Is there a chance that he could stay the starting quarterback? I don't know. I think Justin Fields played really good this preseason, and then you got George Pickens and Nigel Harris and Warner and those guys ready to take off. They play a very tough schedule this year, so I'm definitely going to be keeping a close eye on the situation in Pittsburgh.
For me, it's my team yet again, the Dallas Cowboys, being yet the laughingstock of the entire NFL. We are the only team in modern history to have its starting quarterback who is an All-Pro MVP candidate, has an average win of 10.5 games in the last 5 years, and he's unsigned going into the biggest market deal in the history of the NFL next year. What does that mean? He's going to command $3 quadrillion.
Yeah.
And my team's not going to pay that because they can't. So that Prescott possibly entering the free world market as a free agent with no strings attached, to me, that rarely happens. Now, is he on the back end of his prime? Yeah, he is. But I guarantee you, there's a team in Las Vegas named the Raiders who would love to have his service. And there's an owner who got money and ain't afraid to spend it. And if Mr. Davis has to pay $400 million to have a serviceable quarterback, he will. And where does that leave Jerry Jones? I know where. It leaves him yet searching, scratching, and clawing for yet another elusive Super Bowl championship. All right.
Trey Lance.
Moving on. So we're gonna go ahead and keep it going. I'm gonna act like I didn't hear Rashad say that. I almost started to have a stroke right here on camera. All right. So sleeper teams, let's go around the block, fellas. Sleeper teams every year. You get a non-playoff team from the year before, makes their way into the dance. Look what the Detroit Lions did. Look what the Green Bay Packers did. Look what teams do who missed the playoffs one year, come back the next. Things could happen. Rashad, let's start with you yet again. What is or who is your sleeper team that you're watching closely going into this year?
The L.A. Chargers. The L.A. Chargers. Let me tell you something. If that team stay healthy, they got everything, and Joey Bosa's hurt again. I don't think Mac's there anymore. Doesn't matter. They have everything they need. Everything except for coach. And I believe in Harbaugh. Always have.
Right.
Always have. So the LA Chargers might push for that division. I'm serious, man. That's all that team needed was a head coach. That's it.
Okay. Black, what about you, man? What team is really interesting you on the sleeper side?
Well, I really been taking a close look at the NFC NFC East, and the Atlanta Falcons look sneaky good to me.
NFC South.
NFC South. I'm sorry. With the additions of Matthew Judon, Justin Simmons, You got Kirk Cousins coming in, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Darnell Mooney. I mean, Benji Robinson. They're going to have a really good team, and Kirk Cousins is the right guy to put with all those weapons that they got offensively, and then them tighten it up, get some experience on the defensive side. I think the Atlanta Falcons can sneak around, and win that NFC South this year. D.
I feel you on that. And those are one of the teams that I was debating. But people laughed at me when I said this a couple of months ago. People laugh at me now. But let's go over to the NFC North, where the Chicago Bears are there. Pay attention to culture. Those boys having fun out there.
They are.
Those boys are filled with joy. You see the charisma, their energy, the spunk, the tenacity that Caleb Williams and all of those rookies are bringing to Chicago. I watched 2 of the 3 preseason games when Caleb Williams was out there looking like an unstoppable video game character. The comparison to Patrick Mahomes is real. People laugh at it because of what Patrick is and could go down as the greatest of all time. But Caleb Williams brings that playground, unpredictable style of play. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. Go down the list of guys who Michael Vick, guys who can get out there, and Cam Newton. They can just get out there and make you lose your mind because you can't draw up coverage to stop. Caleb Williams is going to do that. He has a healthy dose of wide receivers, decent in the backfield. The O-line is always going to be in question. Can he stay upright? Can he stay healthy? The defense will be bend, but don't break. They have some headhunters, and they got some pretty decent coverage on the back end. This is a team that's going to compete in its division. And if you can compete in your division, you may have a shot to make the playoffs. Now, remind you, you only need 9 wins to get into the playoff at one of those wild card spots. I think the Chicago Bears will be vying for a piece. Don't be surprised if we get to December and they're a half game or a game out with a big NFC North matchup to close out the year, and they mess around and stun some folks. Because you want to know the thing that the Bears have that a lot of teams with the one thing that the Bears have with the new quarterback that a lot of teams can't prepare for. There's no film on Caleb Williams in the NFL. There's no film. Herbert had no film, he shined. Burrow had no film, he shined. Trevor Lawrence had no film, he shined. But now look at this kid with no film. Will he shine? Pay attention to that. Chicago Bears are my sleeper team to look out for this upcoming season. So, gentlemen, the NFL is so healthy. There's a lot of different great skill set players, but the quarterback position is the position of if you have one, you can compete. If you don't, you won't do anything. We see it time and time again in the NFL. And that MVP trophy, that MVP acknowledgement is pretty big time. I mean, look at all the former winners, and we could go on and on from Brady to Manning to Favre, Mahomes. So many different great players bestow that crown of being the league's most valuable player. And here we are yet again. So we're going to start at the top. Rashad, give me the player who you can see holding that MVP trophy when we get to late January, early February.
Jordan Love.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think that the Green Bay Packers are going to put a stop to that, what you talking about in the NFC North. I think the Green Bay Packers might be the best team in the NFC.
Jesus Christ.
I think they might be the best team in the NFC. They should have went to the NFC Championship last year. They should have went.
Yeah, facts.
There's no reason why they shouldn't have won that game last year. And I feel like this year, Jordan Love can win MVP, especially with all those young weapons, with another year coming up in that offense, as explosive as it was towards the end of the year. I think it can continue to be, and I think Jordan Love can win MVP.
Okay. Great pick. Black, what about you, man? Who you looking at?
Well, D, this one right here is probably going to irk you a little bit. But I think it's something you just said that makes a lot of sense. I think Dak Prescott is going to have a great season. You know why? Because he's going to have a chip on his shoulder this year. And like you said, somebody's going to have to pay him a a whole lot of money after this year. I believe the Cowboys, everybody looking down on the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys going to be good once again. I think this the year he get his playoff wins that he need. And I feel like he'll win the MVP. He got CeeDee Lamb back. Zeke is back. We don't know what they're going to do with the running game. We don't know. But I believe Dak is going to be locked in. He might be top 2, top 3 in passing yards this year with touchdowns, in my opinion. I'm going Dak Prescott. All you naysayer Cowboy fans who hating on Dak, I like what Dak at. Dak hold all the cards, so he has no reason but to go out there and shine this year.
Yeah, that's easier said than done if you got the team to do so.
Yeah, they got the team. They got the quarterback.
Please.
Dak gonna shine. Y'all hating on Dak. Everybody hating on
Dak.
Well,
here's the thing. Here's the thing. No matter if Dak win MVP or not, no matter if the Cowboys make the playoffs or not, as long as Dak Prescott is healthy at the end of week 17 or 18, he's going to get paid. So all of that is not required for him to get the bag because he already has the leverage.
I'm just saying, I know he got the leverage, but I'm saying he gonna add the MVP trophy to it.
Yeah, I'll timestamp this, and we'll see if we can find you.
Timestamp that.
We can see if we can find you when it's time to talk about where the hell you been at because you can't come up with no answers. Okay. For me, I'm gonna go out to Houston, man. I'm gonna ride with the young bull, CJ Stroud, man. This is a kid who's been so fortunate with his situation, and it only got better in the offseason. I mean, I think people make this. I don't understand the noise with this Stefon Diggs negativity because of his previous stop in Buffalo. Let me paint a picture for you for Stefon Diggs. He's now playing indoors. Check. He's now in a city that is beautiful to be outside all year long. Check, check. He's also in an environment where the head coach can have control of the personalities in the locker room in a better form than his previous head coach. Check. So what is that going to do in a air raid offense where the ball goes all around the world and it doesn't stop being thrown in December like it does in Buffalo? And the reason it can't be thrown in Buffalo because the ball is brick and it's negative 60 degrees outside. That won't happen in Houston if they get home field advantage, which they very well could in the AFC, because you want to know why? It's a dome on that roof. And CJ Stroud going to throw for 5,000. CJ Stroud's going to threaten the touchdown record this year. I think the morale, I think the culture, I think everything that's in Houston is lined up perfectly for Houston to take the next step. Now, there's tape on CJ Stroud, so I don't want to contradict myself on my earlier points. But I will say this, the creativity of the offense and the weapons that are around him is very simple if you play Houston. Pick your poison. Simple as that. I like CJ Stroud to have a monster year and enter himself in more of that rarefied air NFL quarterback conversation. CJ Stroud's my pick. He is my pick. All right. You look a little uneasy with that one, Rashad. You look kind of
because it's not going to happen, but we'll talk about that later. All of Stefon Diggs' points will come to fruition because he is a cancer, and he'll let me explain something to you. I'm gonna be real quick with this. He will be the reason why that team won't reach their full potential, because while that ball has to go here, here, and here, he wanted to go here. That's going to be the problem with that team. The worst thing they could have did was go get Stefon Diggs. That's my opinion.
Real quick for me, I think in that locker room, I believe he's going to have to fit in. He's going to have to fit in. There's no egos in that locker room, in my opinion. My thing with Diggs, for me, is he on the back end of his career?
Yes.
Is he on the back end?
Yes.
Is he able to be that 1,100, 1,200 yard receiver again?
No.
Is he able to do that? Because you got these young guys, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, and you have Brevin Jordan. You have these other young guys who ready to take the next step, and we've seen the potential of those guys already. My thing is, Diggs, can he come in there and put up the numbers and be what CJ Stroud needs him to be, the number one receiver?
Well, here's the thing with Stefon Diggs in Buffalo, Rashad. I'm going to totally disagree with you on the cancer part. I think that's very harsh and unfair to Stefon Diggs. I think you're putting a label on him that he is not, in my personal opinion. Let me paint the picture for you in Buffalo. Who else was out there of explosiveness in Buffalo that was alongside with him and Josh Allen? Who else was out there?
I think Gabe Davis could have been that.
I'm gonna rephrase I'm gonna say it again. Explosive tendencies at the wide receiver position. I'm not asking who's durable. I'm not asking who can catch the football. I'm asking you explosive capabilities. Who was the wide receiver?
Gabe Davis. I'm gonna answer the question again.
So now you're being disrespectful to tell me that Gabe Davis is more explosive than Stephon Diggs. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not telling you that he's more explosive.
So answer
You're
my question.
Me if there is an explosive receiver that was opposite of him, and it was Gabe Davis.
That's false. Stephon Diggs is more explosive and more impactful to the game than Gabe Davis.
Okay, I think 65 or 70% of Gabe Davis's catches were for first downs or touchdowns.
And you want to know why? And you want to know why? Because how many times did you see coverage of Stephon Diggs being butt naked down the field and Josh Allen playing it safe? Answer the question. Thank you. So Stephon Diggs is cool. And yeah, look it up on you. Look it up on YouTube. Look it up on YouTube, and then you'll know exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
Josh Allen is a great quarterback. Josh Allen will be in the MVP conversation. Josh Allen will win football games. But Josh Allen was not the best when it comes to realizing who's your guy. You want to know who does that well? Joe Burrow does that well. You want to know who also does that well? Jalen Hurts does that well. There are guys who understand who's the guy when we need him most.
Hey, but D, let me say one thing. I'm not disagreeing with you, but when it mattered most, when the ball was thrown to Diggs, the ball was dropped. He did get the ball to Diggs when you need to give him the ball, but Diggs didn't come down with completions or catching the ball.
Okay.
So that's what's the concern with me for Diggs. Can Diggs be reliable at this point in his career? Is he reliable? We know we're not talking about regular season. I'm talking about in the playoffs when it counts, D.
Yeah, and to answer all of that, I think it's there's this negative cloud that the media is putting on Stephon Diggs. They're not making it about. Hold on, no, it's true. They're not making it about football. Everybody who's talking about Stephon Diggs is taking a shot at his character. They're taking a shot of him being a bad teammate. It's not nothing that's true.
It was the same thing in Minnesota.
Was it?
Yeah.
Do you remember why? Let me ask you before you go on. Do you remember why he left?
They just didn't want to pay him.
I don't think they wanted to pay him.
They didn't want to pay him.
Thank you. And you want to know why? Because the reason why he wanted to leave, because he wasn't getting what he was deserved.
Yeah.
Rashad, let me ask you a question. Wouldn't you leave a situation when you feel like you would do more and you were still receiving less? Would you not want to seek elsewhere?
Of course, I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you the man shouldn't be paid. I think all of them should be paid.
The only problem with me with Diggs is on the field, because if you're going to be me, if you're going to be one who wants the ball in your hand, then when the time comes when it's for you to make those plays, be the guy. You can't show up and drop the ball or something's going on.
Okay,
my thing with Diggs is on the football field. That's why I said.
Okay, so he did what he did in Minnesota. Did we not see him do it on the football field there? Yes or no?
Yes, we did.
Okay, thank you. So if you're gonna bundle it all up into one, let's be fair. Let's sort and separate. Don't tell me about a couple drops in Buffalo when he was winning playoff games. Hold on. Let's not talk about a couple drops in Buffalo when he was winning football games in Minnesota. You can't have it both ways. Let's call it down what it is. This is an explosive receiver who might be on the back end of his what's it called? His prime. Career. He's on the back end of his prime. He's still going to be more than serviceable receiver. I get the reliable questions of his hands late in games, but this goes back to what I said. He's in a situation like never before because there's so many people around. Pick your poison.
Can you, as him, say, I'm going to let these young boys do what they do. I get the ball when I get it, when I'm used to being number one. Let's see.
I believe he will.
All right.
I believe he will.
I hope that coach in that locker room will have him to be that type of receiver.
All right. We go see.
We definitely will. All right. Let's move on. I mean, look, I guess, and maybe y'all agree, NFL playoff football is some of the most intense, emotional, energy draining fulfilling and devastating moments of our lives. Do y'all agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. The NFL playoffs are always something where our health is on the line. And it's so hard to try to predict these things and get ourselves in situations where we can say, hey, this team's going to win a Super Bowl. This team's going to be here. But we're going to try to do that yet again. All right. So here we are. Let's start off in the NFC. Black, let's start with you. Who will be in the NFC Championship game fighting for a spot to go to the Super Bowl, and who's your winner?
If you would have asked me a few days ago, I would have said the San Francisco 49ers would have been one of the teams, but they got so much going on with the Trent Williams situation, and I just don't like that. You need Trent Williams. You need him.
Okay.
At this point for me right now, I'm going to go the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh my God.
The Dallas Cowboys.
This is crazy.
The Dallas Cowboys versus in a team in their division, the Philadelphia Eagles, for the NFC Championship. I feel like Dallas and Philly are going to see each other 3 times this year. And the last game is going to be to go to the Super Bowl. So that's my NFC. And then who I got winning it? The Philadelphia Eagles will go to the Super Bowl this year.
Okay, Rashad, what is your NFC Championship prediction?
It's going to be the Green Bay Packers versus the Detroit Lions. Like it should have been last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it should have been. The San Francisco 49ers got by the skin of their teeth 2 weeks in a row. It will not happen again. Those are the 2 best teams in the NFC. The Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. And the Green Bay Packers will be going to the Super Bowl.
Man, I'm with you, dog. It's like me and you been in each other's brains about this. I'm with you. I'm calling for an NFC North NFC Championship game. I have Green Bay going on a run this year. I think Green Bay is going to capture home field in the NFC. I think Detroit will hang around in there. I think they'll split during the regular season. But I'm with you. I got Green Bay and I got Detroit. I love what these teams are about and what they've done. Dan Campbell, man, salute to him. This man has literally taken the laughing stock of the league and made it into one of its most feared competition, man. A Dan Campbell football team gonna punch you in your mouth.
Yep.
And then while they're doing that, bombs away.
Yep.
Bombs away, man. So I'm with you, man. I think that I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I also think that Green Bay's just going to get the win. I think Green Bay's just going to get the win, and they're going to advance to the Super Bowl. So me and you are definitely on the same wavelength when it comes to that. So Black had to drop off. He'll be back in a second. Let's go ahead and go over to the AFC, where I can't wait to hear Rashad's prediction on this. But let's head over, to the AFC. Rashad, what are we talking about?
Jaguars versus Bengals.
Ooh-wee.
Jaguars versus Bengals. I need to let everybody understand this. Yes, you see what my teal on. Yes, I represent the Jacksonville Jaguars. But I am not biased in this. I told you last year on this same show that the Jacksonville Jaguars would be the number 1 seed in the AFC and Trevor Lawrence would be MVP. Now, Trevor Lawrence did not have an MVP season. But we lost 5 starters the first week of December, and it was for the number 1 seed in the AFC, like I told you. This team is more healthy. This defense is better. They have a better defensive coordinator. This offense is better. And Trevor Lawrence will show y'all exactly what he's supposed to be this year. May not be MVP, but he'll be in the conversation.
All right.
Jaguars, Bengals. The Bengals got all banged up last year. I know you got all the questions with Jamar Chase right now. They'll get that right. They've been balling for 5 years straight now. Don't worry about that. That team ready too. Bengals, Jaguars, AFC Championship.
Who's going to win it?
Oh, my goodness. The Bengals. the Bengals because of experience. I would love for the Jacksonville Jaguars to go to the Super Bowl. I don't know if that's going to happen. I think they're going to make it to the AFC Championship game, though.
All right, so your Super Bowl is set. You got the Bengals and the Packers. We'll get your winner in a second. Black, let's go to you. AFC Championship game. Who's your participants? Who wins?
Rematch from last year.
Ooh.
Rematch from last year. Once I know Pat right now, he's dealing with a lot of injuries at wideout position. But once they get healthy, that's going to be something scary to watch. It's going to be scary to watch. Baltimore got better, adding Big Hen. They got better, in my opinion. I believe Derrick Henry with Lamar Jackson could be something very lethal. I don't see how these two teams don't make it to the AFC Championship again, D. I got Kansas City versus Baltimore. Game will be held in Kansas City, though.
Who wins?
I got Baltimore coming out.
All right.
I'm riding with Lamar because I think everybody's looking down on Lamar. 2 MVPs, no.
Looking
Super
down
Bowl.
on him? You think so?
As far as going to a
He's
Super
talking to
Bowl.
me, D. He's talking to me. He's
as far
talking
as
to
going-
Rashad. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it. I know who he's talking to. He's talking to Rashad.
Okay.
I'm just saying, everybody looking down on him, saying that he ain't this, he ain't that, he can't make it to a Super Bowl. I believe Lamar take the next step and find a way to get to a Super Bowl, D.
Okay.
I think he gonna get to a Super Bowl.
Okay. All right. All right.
All
So you got
South Florida, stand up. Stand up, South Florida.
Oh Lord. All right. Leave out East where it's at, Black. Leave out East where it's at. All right. So Black got the Eagles and the Ravens in his Super Bowl. We'll get your winner in just a second. For me, I'm riding with the Houston Texans, man. I think the Houston Texans are going to have a really good year. I think they have all of the ingredients to make a run. I just love everything about them. I like the coach, the quarterback, the defense, the weapons on offense. I think them being indoors are going to cause a lot of track meets, and it's going to be a daunting task to try to go in Houston and win a football game. And I think they're going to be fighting for that top spot in the AFC to possibly have home field this year. So I'm going to take the Houston Texans as a participant in the AFC Championship game. And I'm going to say this, like I say every year, until I see 15, until I see somebody comparable outside of Joe Burrow, because he's the only one that's done it, to go up and look 15 in his eye and tell him you can't have it this time, I'm not going against him. You can name me every quarterback that you want to name. I don't care. Because last year, I laughed at all y'all, and I told y'all, he don't got a wide receiver. He can't do that. Chip. Ernest was in my house for the Super Bowl, and he was disgusted because he saw what I was telling him. 15 on the field, dog. I ain't saying he can't be beat because he has. But until I see somebody do it, I ain't going against them. I got the Chiefs. I got the Texans in the AFC Championship game in Houston. But I got 15. I got 15 coming out of there. I got 15 coming out of there.
So you
I
got
got
going
Chiefs.
on the road again. You got
I do.
go on the road again?
I do. I got Chiefs. I got Packers in my Super Bowl. Shaw, let's go back up to you. Your Super Bowl matchup. You have the Bengals versus the Packers. Who wins your Super Bowl this year?
Green Bay Packers.
Ooh-wee.
Green Bay Packers are going to win it all, man. I love that team, bro. I love that team. I love the coach. I love their quarterback. I believe he's going to win MVP. I believe he's going to host that trophy up, man.
I feel you.
You love him better than you loved Detroit last year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
I do because Detroit was my sleeper team last year.
I'm with you.
And I knew that they were going to be good. I didn't know they was going to be, should have been to the Super Bowl good, but I knew they were going to be good. The Green Bay Packers are more explosive on offense than them. I believe they have a better coach than them. Listen, they got weapons, dog.
Yeah, they do.
I'm going to tell you something. Them receivers, them young boys they got at receiver, they go get better, dog.
They 5 deep.
They go get better. Listen, I didn't say that Detroit doesn't have an explosive.
Right. Calm down, Black.
And guess what? And guess what they have too? They got a man who led the league in rushing 2 years ago, who played on a trash team last year.
Yep.
Jacobs is go ball in
Yes,
that
he
offense,
is.
man.
Yes, he is.
Ball. He's gonna be a true difference maker
I'm
in
with
that
you.
offense, man. I'm
with
telling
you,
you,
dog.
they gonna win the Super Bowl.
I'm with you, dog. It's like me and you been having conversations. We ain't even been around each
We
other.
ain't talked about this at all.
We haven't talked about it at all.
Man, nobody don't care about them conversations, man.
Black, dang, bro, we can't have our opinion.
I ain't nobody don't care about them
With
conversations,
your,
man.
bro, ain't nobody say nothing about your watered down Super Bowl. But go ahead
Bruh, that's all right.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Who gonna win the Super Bowl? Who your watered down winner?
Eagles, Lamar Jackson.
Of course. How did I know you was gonna say that?
Price.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson.
Hey, didn't he do this last year?
No.
No, he didn't do this last year. Mm-mm.
Oh.
He didn't do this last year.
I picked Buffalo last year.
Yes, you did. So Lamar Jackson, the Ravens gonna win the Super Bowl.
The Ravens.
Okay, I just want to
With
make sure.
Big Hen. With
Yeah,
Big
okay.
Hen.
Just want to make sure. Just want to make sure. All right. On my end, I got Chiefs. And I got Green Bay. And man, I lost. I couldn't even take a nap today because I was trying to figure out who's gonna win this game.
Man.
I love the Packers. I love them. I love Matt LaFleur. I love Jordan Love. They are 5 deep at the wide receiver. That's another pick your poison situation. The tight ends, they got 2 tight ends who they can get out there and pass catch.
Yes.
And then and the defense is solid. The defense is solid, man. But it's 15. It's 15. But I'm gonna do it to them this year. I'm gonna also take the Green Bay Packers to win the Super Bowl. I'm gonna take the Packers to beat the Chiefs in a similar game to how the 49ers should have beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. But I don't think Matt LaFleur makes the same mistakes in this Super Bowl like the 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan did. Shanahan made mistakes coaching. He made mistakes, and it cost him a championship. Matt LaFleur's been around a decade now. He's been to a few NFC championship games. He kind of knows what it's about. I think Jordan Love and the Packers edge out the Chiefs in a hell of a game, and your Green Bay Packers are going to be your Super Bowl winners this year. I'm all in on the Pack.
Hey,
Yep.
one last thing for me, real quick. I bet both of y'all a tropical smoothie, cranberry truffle, both of y'all. Green Bay don't win that division. I bet you Detroit go back to back.
That's a bet.
Oh, that's a bet.
That's a bet. I want
That's a
my smoothie, cranberry truffle. I want my smoothie.
I ain't got no problem, boss. That's a
Yeah,
bet.
no problem. Now, when I come looking for you and you ain't got my smoothie,
For sure. For sure.
I'm just gonna leave it there.
sure.
Hey,
When I come calling, when I
hear you
come,
talking,
hold
I
on,
just
no.
want my smoothie.
listen
Just
to me
know that.
now. When I come calling and I pull up in that tropical, cash at me my money, my boy.
Appreciate
Cash
it.
at me
Hey.
my money.
Appreciate
I want my
it.
smoothie. I want y'all to take me to get my smoothie.
Oh, I ain't doing all that. I ain't your chauffeur.
Yeah.
I cash after you a quick 10. I ain't your chauffeur, my boy. I cash after you a quick 10.
I go get him. It's all good. Got no problem.
All right, man. So there we have it, man. That's our NFL 2024 season preview. Looking forward to a fun season. You're going to get a lot of this every single week here from the Sports Test Live. Myself, Black and Rashad, Mr. Moodham Chains, we're going to be coming through, man, and just, having fun and great conversation, predicting games, and, seeing at the end of the year who's right, who's wrong, or if all of us is wrong, or if some of us is right. That's the fun of doing these shows, man. So salute to everybody who are showing us support, showing us love. Our subscriber count's going up. We're going to be doing a lot better with consistency. We're making sure we have content for you guys throughout the week. So hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, rock with us all year long. And there's a show down here in Duval County, man, trying to make some noise, man. So we appreciate the love. So until next time, y'all be cool, be safe, take care of yourselves, and we'll see y'all on week 1, predicting some games. And of course, all my bet fans out there, hello, my prize pickers, my draft kingers, my MGM betters. Don't worry, we'll be predicting games and giving our thoughts. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.